Hi, and welcome to the 5 Minutes PGX Clinical Pearls. My name is Behnaz Sarrami. I'm the pharmacist and medical science liaison for AltheaDx. Today, I'm going to talk about the link between ADHD, dopamine receptors, and the COMT gene. So, if we think about going kind of backwards, how dopamine is made, it's made from tyrosine, and tyrosine makes dopamine. They're stored in these little vesicles in this presynaptic cell. And so when it's needed, it's released out of this VMAT transporter out into the synaptic cleft, and it's attached to its receptors and causes an action. And when it's no longer needed, it's picked back. It detaches from the receptor and picked back up by the DAT transporter to go back into those little vesicles stored for next time, or it's degraded or broken down by MAO enzyme or the COMT enzyme, so it's excreted out of the body. So if we think about a patient with ADHD, they do not have enough dopamine in the synaptic cleft right here. And so what methylphenidate or relevance trying to do is to block that DAT transporter so dopamine is not picked back up and there's more dopamine in that synaptic space. And amphetamines and Adderall, in addition to blocking that DAT transporter, is also blocking the MAO enzyme, which is the downgrading of or breaking it down to dopamine. And so you'll have more of dopamine kind of in the presynaptic cells and also in this synaptic cleft. So that's why it's a little more potent because of that reason. And structurally, amphetamines are similar to dopamine. So some of it can be picked up by that DAT transporter to go back into that vesicle stored in the presynaptic cell. So it'll break it down and collapse that vesicle and release a whole bunch more dopamines. So when we talk about COMT enzyme, it's really, as the name says, adding a methyl group. So what it's doing is adding a methyl group to catecholamines, but we're going to focus on dopamine, and it kind of inactivates it. So if you have a slow version COMT or MET, that means you're breaking down that dopamine very slowly. So you'll have more of a buildup. And so those patients are kind of quote unquote categorized as warriors with an O. They have more personality types of being worried, stressed out. That does not mean necessarily it's a bad thing. It's just some people actually thrive in that environment. So some nutritional supplements that could help these individuals would be more low protein diets and B12, and the exercises would be more calming exercises such as yoga. Now, patients with ADHD have been found to have the VAL variant of the COMT gene. And so they're called the warriors with an A. They have the more addictive behaviors, are more prone to depression. And so what's happening with them is the dope is the fast version. So the dopamine is quickly being downgraded. So there's not enough dopamine in that synaptic cleft. And so when we have a pharmacogenomics testing done, it doesn't necessarily tell us what type of medication to select, particularly for a patient, but kind of more as to why they're more prone to depression, or that those individuals with ADHD, this is what's happening and how we can resolve that, and which is why stimulants are given. Or in addition, type of exercises and nutrition that can help that individual. Thank you for joining me this time for PGX Clinical Pearls. Tune in next time.